Волга. Первая машина моих родителей. Один из символов страны, в которой мы родились. Любимый автомобиль президента России. Бренд, который, как заявил владелец ГАЗа, в 2008 году прекратит свое существование. Наш рассказ о черной «Волге», которая застряла в зеленых полях Англии. А начнем мы его со встречи с Джулианом Новиллом, с которым нас познакомил наш человек в Девоне, корреспондент «Русского часа» Марк Джеффс. Мистер Новилл, совсем не бедный англичанин, отечественным Ягуаром и Бентли предпочел иномарку.
What did initially ignite your passion for Russian cars, and for Volga particularly?
Well, I was born, I'm a child of the Cold War, so I was born in Istanbul, and when you guys were the bad guys, and we were the good guys, and I would walk past the Russian consulate on the way to school, and there was the black Volga and the guards, and I thought, this is cool, this is really cool. And my father says that they're bad guys, but I don't think they're really bad guys. Then I came to England, and someone gave me a Moscovich for free because it was missing some spares. So I ordered some spares through the Russian embassy for free. They were not going to charge me. But Margaret Thatcher threw the man out for being a spy, so I never drove my Moscovich. And then, of course, larders came and went, but of course my ultimate Russian car is the Volga. It's so big, it's so unusual, and the only one in England of that model.
Итак, мы отправляемся в путь. Назад в будущее, в русском стиле. Интересно, куда нас завезет эта машина времени? В Волге тесно в уютном, но небольшом городке под названием Брэднич, и Джулиан предложил нам автопробег по просторам Девона. Там нас и ждало настоящее российское приключение. Но не будем забегать вперед. Меня, конечно же, продолжал интересовать владелец «Волги» больше, чем она сама.
Did your interest or empathy towards Russia go beyond cars?
Yes, I think the whole Russian way of doing things is a pleasure to me, because in Britain we're so snobbish about next-door neighbours' cars and about the health and safety regulations and bureaucracy. I always felt that the Russians, if something broke, they would mend it. They didn't go to a garage, they wouldn't complain, they would just mend it with their own tools. So it's this free spirit that I like about the Russians, really.
Сидя в «Волге», чувствуешь себя как в России, просторно, правда, с поправкой на узкие английские улочки. «Волга» легко шла по плоскому ландшафту, но на холмах Девона мы стали замечать, что ей комфортнее на равнине.
My Volga hasn't been too reliable, but that's not the poor car's fault. It's been modified to have gas conversion. But my Lada is fantastically reliable, and people just look down their noses at it in Britain. But to me, it's a good car, it's a cheap car, and if they sneer at it, well, that's their problem.
You wrote a book about Russian cars or Eastern European cars, so clearly you have a very strong empathy towards them. So can you please tell me what actually sets them apart from other cars?
Yes, I think there are three important things. The first thing is that they're very basic. So someone who is not a good mechanic, and I'm not a good one, can hope to try and repair them. The second thing is that nobody likes them, and so you feel a bit of a crusader for a cause that nobody supports. And then there are car rallies in Britain of fellow Lada owners and UAZ owners and maybe one or two Volgas, so we feel a very elite group driving these cars. But probably the most important thing in Britain for Ladas is that they're very, very cheap, because nobody loves them. You can pick them up for $100, for instance.
Ну вот, мы уже и на вершине холма. Отсюда видно чуть ли не всю Англию. Где-то рядом Атлантика, позади Европа. Эту картину можно было бы назвать мировым триумфом Волги, если бы она именно в этот момент не застряла в, казалось бы, совсем небольшой канаве. И вот мы на зеленых холмах Девона, как бурлаки на Волге, занялись настоящим мужским делом.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Hey! And roll. And roll. It's gonna go.
Пока мы выкатываем Волгу назад на дорогу, вернемся к рассказу о ее достоинствах.
What do people here think about your inclinations? I mean, obviously, when they pass your house, they look, whoa, what's that?
Yes, they're very good actually. Even the police are good because I, keep cars on foreign number plates when perhaps I shouldn't, and I've never had any trouble. I think they just don't understand it. They think, well, he can afford a BMW, so why doesn't he drive a BMW? So I think there isn't comprehension.
Right.
But they're very polite to me. They think maybe I've got a screw loose.
What about your colleagues at work?
What
do they think?
Have certain concerns because, am I going to get to my clients on time in case it breaks down, for instance? And also, does it project the right image of a British stockbroker? And all I've said to them is, well, if my business collapses, that's my problem. So I'll stick to my old Russian cars and they can drive their smarter vehicles.
What about if something goes wrong with it in Exeter? What do you do?
The garages don't like it because it frightens them because they don't have the diagnostic equipment to check the engine management system. So what I would tend to do is try and repair it myself, which for most problems I can repair it myself. And then email Alexei in Moscow if I need some spares for it, which will take 2 or 3 weeks or so. So spares are a problem. But an easy life is a boring life. I don't want an easy life, and if it breaks down every 3-4 months, fine, it's not causing me any trouble. 2, 3. Yeah.
Главное не терять оптимизм, ведь мы без него никуда не выйдем.
Yeah. And now I think we get a bit of a slope. Oh, that's hot work.
What about your other cars? You've got Lada and you have a Zarapovets?
Yes, the Lada is an absolute beauty, never goes wrong, fast, just comfortable, wonderful car. And the Zaporozhets is probably better in England than it is in Russia, because the reason for that is that it's got a petrol heater and you probably risk killing yourself if you switch it on. But you need a petrol heater in Russia.
It's a separate heater?
Separate heater. In Britain, you can survive without a heater.
Новую, в кавычках, Волгу, которая не унаследовала класс своей знаменитой предшественницы 21-й Волги, честно говоря, не жалко. Но если владелец ГАЗа действительно вместо восстановления былой славы Волги просто убьет бренд, то, во всяком случае, англичане этого не поймут. Жалко, если не будет новой Волги, которой можно было бы так гордиться, как англичане гордятся Ягуаром или Роллс-Ройсом. Но будем оптимистами. Волга так же загадочна, как и загадочная Россия. В тот момент, когда Джулиан уже отчаялся и был готов пешком идти в город за подмогой, Волга поддалась нам и выехала из лужи, в которой она застряла. И не просто поддалась, но и завелась, и даже поехала.
That was good.